This is Nightline.
Tonight, reality star Jen Shah out from behind bars. Our exclusive new video of her release in the dead of night after serving less than half her sentence for running a nationwide telemarketing scheme. The Real Housewife of Salt Lake City with the outsized personality.
My marriage is up because of that night.
Could we see her back on TV? And tonight, what her victims have to say.
You didn't break me. You may have thought you would.
Plus, outrage in Oklahoma.
No means no.
What is happening with this case is absolutely unreal.
A high school student convicted of rape, sexual battery, and domestic assault of 2 girls, but sentenced to no prison time.
It seemed like the decision had already been made because it didn't matter what we said.
Our exclusive interview with the parents of one of the victims, fighting back against a system they say failed their daughter. And the wake-up call for parents.
We give a message. Tell, 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 tell.
And the power trifecta named to chair next year's Met Gala, who will be helping Beyonce create fashion's biggest night out.
From ABC News headquarters in New York, this is Nightline.
Thanks for joining us. Tonight, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City star Jen Shah, released from prison less than halfway through her sentence for wire fraud, for her part in a telemarketing scheme with thousands of victims, many of them elderly. Here's ABC's Janae Norman.
Jen Shah, the disgraced former Real Housewife of Salt Lake City, smiling and walking out of a federal prison in Texas overnight, a free woman. Nightline cameras were there to capture her exclusively just a few minutes after 1 a.m. Husband Sharif and their 2 adult sons greeting her with long hugs that never seemed to end. The family then driving off in an SUV in the dark of night, leaving the prison's barbed wire fence in their rearview mirror. Shah served less than 3 years of her original 6.5-year sentence after pleading guilty for her role in a nationwide telemarketing scheme that defrauded thousands of victims.
Jen Shah's had her sentence reduced numerous times while in custody, and that can be due to not just good behavior, but participation in programs that she chose to do.
I feel that she should have not gotten out early. I feel like she should have served the whole 6.5 years.
Tonight, the 52-year-old Shah could be home for the holidays. Before her legal troubles, Jen Shah seemed to have it all. Beautiful, rich, and successful. The married mother of 2 was cast for the Real Housewives when the franchise expanded to Salt Lake City.
She's married to a football coach who makes a nice living, no doubt, but not the kind of living or lifestyle that she was presenting on the reality television show.
I had to work my ass off here in Utah.
She just seemed to be this outrageous, over-the-top cartoon character.
My marriage is up because of that night.
As viewers watched the excessive wealth on display every episode, they had no idea that federal investigators were already on Shah's trail. Even before the show debuted, the feds had been arresting suspects connected to Shah's telemarketing scheme.
Authorities say she and her co-conspirators targeted and defrauded hundreds of victims.
News starts breaking that Jen Shah gets arrested. Literally my first thought, which is awful, was I wonder if Bravo cameras are rolling. Like, Jen Shah's been arrested, our camera's rolling.
Okay, there's police and they have handcuffs out.
Homeland Security.
We're looking for Jen Shah.
She just left.
Shah faced 2 charges, conspiracy to commit wire fraud and money laundering, with possible punishment of up to 30 years in prison. The evidence? Receipts, emails, countless text messages. Specifically, the indictment says Shah and her team had been targeting the elderly and vulnerable for years.
Jen Shah got a plea negotiation with the prosecution and pled to just 1 fraud count, the conspiracy to commit wire fraud.
At least one of Shah's victims is upset to see her freed.
Disappointment, but not surprised.
44-year-old Molly McLaughlin from Iowa lost tens of thousands of dollars in Shah's work-from-home scam.
You had to file for bankruptcy. What has the toll been on just your life as a whole?
Obviously, there was a lot of stress, sleepless nights, tears, trauma, emotional pain, mental pain, worrying about how I was going to get out of it.
How low did your credit go, and what was it like trying to bounce back from that?
I got down to about 362.
362.
I had always been one that prided myself on paying bills on time, having that high score. And I do believe that I had a breakdown when I saw that.
In the meantime, Shah seeming to make the most of her life behind bars. A post to her official website in May showing her mid-workout. A few months later, husband Sharif smiling in a prison visit photo posted to Shah's Instagram. Shah's fellow inmates also infamous, including Jeffrey Epstein associate Ghislaine Maxwell and former Theranos founder Elizabeth Holmes.
It's not surprising to me that high-profile individuals understand the pressures of what that life was like and of being in custody. And I wonder if they have some reminiscing over both of their cases, because both of them really argued that they were just doing business the way everybody else did.
Now, some fans wonder if Shah could return to the franchise that made her famous. Bravo's Andy Cohen recently giving his verdict on his Sirius XM Radio Andy show.
She's not coming back to the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. She's not. So I wish her all the best in her next life.
But her victim, Molly, doesn't feel the same.
You didn't break me. You may have thought you would. You may have thought that you would break the thousands of us whose money you stole. You didn't.
And despite gaining her freedom, the Bureau of Prisons confirms Shah will have community confinement, either at home or in a halfway house.
She's going to have to check in with a parole officer, essentially. She's going to have to maintain a job, and not just a job that she wants to do. She's going to be required to work and have that work approved. But if she has made some personal changes in custody, maybe the reentry won't be so bad for her.
Our thanks to Janae. And now a look ahead at tomorrow's show. More than 40 years after a 16-year-old girl was savagely murdered, her cold case solved via new DNA technology. Could her killer be tied to two missing women?
It's 2025, and I got you now.
And when we come back, a convicted rapist sentenced to no prison time. Our exclusive interview with the parents of one of the victims, fighting back, and their warning for other parents after the break. Welcome back. Now our exclusive interview with the parents of a teenage victim at the center of a case stirring controversy. They sat down with me in Stillwater, Oklahoma, to sound the alarm for other parents after their daughter accused her high school boyfriend of brutal acts of sexual violence. He pled no contest to 11 charges, appearing in court this week after walking away with 0 prison time.
Two girls came together with evidence and injuries and didn't get justice. So I'm like, what does it take to get justice then?
Yvonne and Austin are speaking out for the first time on camera, exclusively, after they say their daughter did not get the justice she deserves.
No means no! Our voice matters!
Their now 17-year-old daughter, Kate, who wants to maintain her privacy, says she told police she was violently and repeatedly sexually assaulted by her then 16-year-old boyfriend, Jesse Butler.
Hope he's not dumb enough to go into public.
I'm not seeing enough people talk about this, and people need to be talking about this.
Kate telling police about numerous incidents, including one where Butler strangled her to unconsciousness. Then, approximately 15 minutes after strangling her, Butler initiated sexual intercourse with her. Kate reported she complied out of fear. And later that week, Butler told her he wanted to strangle her so he could film it on his phone. Kate saying she complied again out of fear and lost consciousness on this occasion as well.
When you saw the list of allegations and knew that was about your daughter, what went through your mind?
Disbelief how someone at that age could commit that violent of act. Disbelief that it could happen, especially to my child.
Tell him what you just told me, or?
After 6 months of investigation, police arrested Butler in March. On the police body camera, his mother can be heard throughout, reassuring her son.
I'll get you out, all right? Stay strong, okay? Say your prayers.
The case sparking outrage around the country as Butler's arrest went viral.
What is happening with this case is absolutely unreal.
After being charged as an adult, his deal as a youthful offender gave him 0 prison time after pleading no contest to 11 criminal counts, including rape by instrument, sexual assault, and strangulation, among other charges.
I'll continue sharing information because these victims deserve to be heard.
And she really felt like it was worth the sacrifice of coming forward to prevent it from happening to somebody else. And in the end, it still could happen to somebody else.
Kate the Great.
Yeah, that's what her coaches called her when she was little. She was flipping all over the place.
It wasn't so long ago that Kate was Daddy's little girl.
She was always a happy kid growing up, fun, just active.
A gymnast and competitive cheerleader who loved her friends, family, and her faith. When she turned 16, Kate's parents allowed her to start dating.
He showed up right about after that birthday.
When you first met Jesse, what was your first impression?
We were blindsided. We liked him. We thought he was really nice. He would bring her flowers pretty frequently, and he took her to lots of fancy places. He went to church with us a couple times.
But Yvonne says she noticed a change in her daughter a few months into the relationship.
She was trying to keep herself busy and not spending as much time with him.
By the end of summer, their 6-month relationship ended, but the reason why remained a mystery to her parents.
She just said that she had broken up with him, and she told me that I didn't really know who he was, that he'd been hurting her, but she didn't want to tell me what had happened.
But Kate did tell a church leader, and she discovered she wasn't the only one.
The other victim asked to talk to my daughter, and because she had heard the rumor that was going around about Kate, and she told her that it had happened to her too.
The other victim, identified as LS, told the court that Butler threatened her and her family if she reported him. But together, his 2 ex-girlfriends went to school officials, filing a police report with the high school's resource officer, a Stillwater police detective stationed at the school.
The forensic interview wasn't scheduled till later that month in September, so she was returned to class with him for 2 weeks. She just said he'd been hurting her, and I asked her if she was okay with being in class with him, and she was like, didn't want to cause a problem, so she just did it.
Knowing now what the allegations were that she brought forward, what's your reaction to that?
He should have been pulled out of school that day of reporting. It's like, I don't know how they allowed someone like that to be with their victim.
She was actually in danger being in that same room with him.
Both Stillwater Public Schools and police say because of pending litigation, they are unable to comment.
It's horrific. I mean, can you imagine going to school every day and sitting in class with the person who violated you?
Attorney Rachel Bussett began representing Kate and her family after the sentence.
What kind of message does that send?
It says we're not protecting people. We give a message, tell. And then when people step up and tell, we don't protect.
The horrifying allegations from the 2 victims' forensic interviews detailed in affidavits. Police writing that LS reported similar incidents, that Butler strangled her after she would not participate in sexual acts with him, that he pinned her down inside her vehicle. She said she was hyperventilating and then recalled her vision being blurry and she was dizzy and she had a handprint and injury on her neck. Police have photos of her alleged injuries. LS told the courts that after the strangulation, a medical professional told her she was 30 seconds away from dying. Both victims telling prosecutors they wanted Butler to be held accountable. If he had been found guilty on all charges as an adult, he could have been sentenced to significant time in prison.
They told us that he was willing to plead guilty and he was willing to do rehabilitation treatment in a facility.
Instead, he pleaded no contest and got no incarceration.
Correct. And we at that point did not want to do the plea deal anymore. The girls are both willing to testify, but it seemed like the decision had already been made because it didn't matter what we said.
In October, Butler was sentenced to community service, rehabilitation, and outpatient counseling. The now 18-year-old remains under court supervision until he turns 19 next year. If he fully complies, he will not have to register as a sexual offender.
Do you feel like the prosecutor's office failed you?
When he wouldn't agree to plead guilty, then they were willing to work with him. And then when he wouldn't agree to go inpatient, then they were willing to cave to that as well.
You feel like they caved to him, but they forgot about the survivors.
Yeah.
In a statement to ABC News, the DA's office says they spent many hours in consultation with both families before the charges were filed and up through the disposition. Each of the allegations was reported to have occurred during consecutive dating relationships, and none of the allegations was reported until after the relationships had both ended. These circumstances do not justify criminal behavior or minimize victim trauma, but they do impact the evidence available for a prosecution, and they also impact potential defenses.
This is intimate partner violence, which we also know that is underreported and, minimized. We need to continue to shine the light on how it affects young people as well as adults and creating a safe space for them to come forward.
Tell me what you think should have happened.
I think there should have been a period of incarceration. The purpose of the youthful offender program is to rehabilitate people. To be rehabilitated, you have to acknowledge what you did and accept responsibility. And a no contest plea in this situation isn't an acknowledgement of what he did, and he certainly hasn't had any real consequences. It's slightly more than grounding.
Kate's lawyer filed a motion yesterday to change the plea deal, arguing in part that her rights were violated during the plea and sentencing process because she did not receive reasonable and timely notice of the specific plea negotiations or the precise terms under consideration. Bussett also plans to file civil lawsuits against multiple entities on Kate's behalf, including Butler and his family, Stillwater Police, and Stillwater Public Schools.
Obviously, we can't ever have these girls unassaulted, but it's looking for some form of justice over what happened to them.
Kate is now completing her final year of high school online. Her life forever changed.
What are you hoping for your daughter now?
Oh, I hope that she tries to date again. Right now, she's been too scared. That was her first experience with love, and I hope that she'll try again because love shouldn't hurt.
Of course, we'll continue to follow any developments in this story. When we come back, the 3 power players named to chair next year's Met Gala. And finally tonight, next year's Met Gala has its chairs. It's our nightlight. Grammy-winning superstar Beyonce, Oscar-winning actress Nicole Kidman, and tennis great Venus Williams named co-chairs of fashion's biggest night out. All 3 have made splashes on the New York City Gala's colored carpets, Beyonce wowing the crowds 7 times over the years, and Kidman and Williams just this past spring, where Kidman rocked a dramatic look by Balenciaga, and Williams went with a green tennis couture creation by Lacoste. Next year's Met Gala is May 4th. Mark your calendars. That's Nightline. You can watch all of our full episodes on Disney Plus and Hulu. We'll see you right back here tomorrow, same time. Thanks for staying up with us. Good night, America.